Welcome to the leave management system. The system is role-based and protected. Therefore, users will be required to enter their login IDs as well as their passwords. Once this is done, users will then click on the login button where they'll be taken to the home page. The leave homepage displays a signed-in user's name at the top, view training manual button to launch the training manual, and we have a sign out button to log out of the system. Different menu items are also displayed on the page, such as the apply for leave button for normal leave applications, apply for partial hour applications, and the my leave history button to view, amend, and cancel leave applications. The task inbox is for recommenders and approvers to action tasks sitting in their inbox, and we also have reports for management. The kiosk application is for kiosk operators to make leave applications on behalf of users who may not be computer literate or have access to a computer. We have the set out of office feature for management to redirect tasks should they be out of office. A pie chart is displayed in the middle of the page showing available balances in red, pending balances in purple, and taken balances in orange. We have a calendar feature that displays the current month in the year. Weekends are grayed out. The previous months and the forthcoming month's days are displayed in light blue. And finally, any leave applications that have been made are displayed in green. Managers will be able to click on the days highlighted in green, and they will be able to view who exactly is on leave and what leave type they have taken. To apply for normal leave, the applicant will click on the Apply for Leave button on the home page, where they'll be taken to the leave application screen. Available balances are displayed at the top, and there's also a View My Detailed Balances button that launches a table when clicked. To begin the process, the applicant will fill in their contact details while on leave. They can either capture these details or they can click on the checkbox if their details are the same as their personal details. Furthermore, the applicant can then edit any fields should they wish. The leave history window simply shows previous leave applied for. The next step would be for the applicant to fill in their application details. They will start off by selecting the leave type. Rules associated with each leave type are displayed when the applicant hovers on each leave type. The applicant will then select their start date. When this is done, the end date is automatically defaulted to the same day as the start date, assuming that the leave application is for 1 day. The user can then go on and change this date to any future date after the start date. When this is done, working days applied for are automatically calculated, taking into consideration public holidays and weekends. The recommender is automatically defaulted, however, the user can select a different recommender. If pre-approval is granted, the applicant will click on Yes on the radio buttons. They will then select the method of which the pre-approval was granted, and they will also select who granted the pre-approval. The applicant can then add any comments should they wish. Come down to the attachments window where they will add in any supporting documentation. They will then click on the Save button, and this will show on the grid below. The applicant can also view the attachment they have just saved to ensure that correct documentation has been attached. The last step would be to view the disclaimer. Once this is done, the applicant will confirm this by clicking on the checkbox. The leave application is ready for submission, and then the next step would be for the applicant to click on the Submit button. A confirmation box will appear showing the reference number of the application. At this point, the application has been sent through to the recommender, and the recommender will receive an email notification to action the task. The recommender will receive an email notification when a leave application is made. In this email, some details of the leave application are shown. The recommender will then action the task by clicking on the link. When clicked, they will be taken to the login screen where they will be prompted to enter their credentials. Once entered, they will then be taken to the leave homepage. To begin the recommendation process, the recommender will click on their task inbox button. This button shows the number of tasks waiting to be actioned by the recommender. When the button is clicked, they will be taken to the inbox. They will then click on the reference number of the leave application they wish to recommend. The recommendation screen shows details of the leave application in the top window. The recommender will then be expected to view any attachments. If this is not done, the system will prevent them from completing the recommendation. They can also view any comments. In the recommendation details window, the recommender will click yes to approve the recommender. At this point, the approve field will automatically show. They will then select the approver from the drop-down list provided. At this point, the recommendation process is complete and is ready for submission. They will then click on the submit button. Once done, a confirmation box will appear to confirm this. At this point, the recommendation has been sent through to the approver for approval. The approval process follows the exact same steps as the recommendation. To apply for partial hours, the applicant will click on the Apply for Partial Hours button on the landing page. Once again, this screen displays available balances at the top. They will begin the process by filling in their contact details while on leave. Any previous leave applied for is displayed in the leave history window. They will then come down and select the leave type. Once done, the date will then be selected. The applicant will then have to select their start time and then select the end time. Once done, they will then select their recommender. Any supporting documentation will be added in the attachment window. They will then click on the checkbox and click on the submit button where the application will be confirmed and a message box will display the reference number. At this stage, the application has been sent through to the recommender for recommendation. The system accrues partial hour leave, and once it reaches 8 hours, it creates a leave form for captures to capture onto the system. The system provides a kiosk application feature, which caters for users who may not be computer literate in the organization. Kiosk operators are identified by management, and these kiosk operators will then apply for leave on behalf of the applicant. To apply on someone's behalf, click on the Kiosk Application button on the landing page. You will then be navigated to a search screen where we will be searching for the applicant's PERSAL number or selecting their name from the drop-down list. Once we find the person, their name and email address will be displayed on the labels below. We will then select what leave type we wish to apply for. Once again, we'll be navigated to the leave application screen, where we'll have to complete our contact details while on leave. We'll then select the leave type. And then we'll select the start date. The end date will automatically be defaulted to the start date, and working days applied for will be automatically calculated. We will then select the recommender and add in any comments should we wish. We then come down to the attachments window where it is mandatory to print out the leave form before proceeding. If we decide to proceed without printing the leave form and attaching it, we will get an error message as shown. Once the leave form has been printed, it will then be attached and we'll click on the Save button, where the form will then show on the grid below. Once this is done, we'll then submit the case and the confirmation box will appear with the reference number. At this point, the application has been sent through to the recommender for recommendation. Managers will click on the Set Out of Office button and they will be taken to the Set Out of Office screen. They will then select the person whom they wish to redirect their task to. Once the search button is clicked, the person's details will be populated in the labels below. They will then select the duration which they will be out of office by selecting a start date and an end date. Once this is done, they will then click on the Submit button and this will be confirmed by the person's details being populated in the grid below. Reports are available to management. Managers will navigate to reports by clicking on the Reports button on the landing page. Once clicked, they will be navigated to the Reports dashboard. This dashboard graphically illustrates different statistics about leave application, such as leave per leave type and leave per component. The dashboard also comes with the drill down feature where managers can click on any section of any graph and more information about that section will be displayed. This report can then be saved in different file formats. Once saved, the report can then be printed and presented at management meetings. Other reports are also provided by the system. Managers can select from a range of reports listed on the drop-down. Once the report of choice is selected, managers will then select the required information from the filters. Once done, they will click on the Submit button and the report will be generated. This report can also be saved in different file formats.